Undertale is one of the most charming RPGs I've played in quite some time. It's got cute visuals, an engaging story, fun and unique gameplay, and of course, interesting and lovable characters. Yes, and sans. However, there are a ton of games that have the same charm and joy as Undertale, and we're gonna take today to check some of them out. Now, when I say Undertale ripoff, I mainly just mean games that are reminiscent of Undertale, even if the game came out before Undertale. An RPG with ideally retro visuals, fun and wacky characters, all that stuff. These are all really fun games that I do recommend, but naming the video, if you like Undertale, these are other RPGs you'll probably like, would be too long. Let's begin. First up, we have a game called Off. Is it spooky time? Off is a game made in RPG Maker back in 2008, so yeah, way before Undertale's release. But I really feel like the younger generation may never have heard of this game, and that's a problem! In this game, we take control of the human character known as the Batter, who we don't know that much about, apart from the fact he's on a sacred mission to purify this world. Our first friend that we meet is this creepy cat known as the Judge. He says he'll help guide us through this area and give us information as we need it. And if that's not the face of a trustworthy creature, then I don't know what is. He tells us that there are multiple zones we'll need to travel to. In order to purify these zones, we'll need to find and kill these malevolent ghost-like creatures, known as specters. The world gives off a consistent, unsettling vibe to it. It's like we're stuck in some type of limbo. But it's weird. All of the characters, albeit creepy looking, are very normal and talk to you in a casual-like tone. The enemies, however, are a different story. They range anywhere from awful nightmare to aww, to a weird mixture of both. The gameplay is very simple. It's your typical turn-based menu RPG. Choose an attack, watch your CP, defend. It may be old school, but it gets the job done. One thing I really do like is the game's tone. 1 minute it's lighthearted and breaking the fourth wall, where the Judge calls the Batter a puppet and actually refers to us, the player, as the puppeteer. And the next minute we're questioning life and morality. The music is also kind of perfect, being a mix between quirky and creepy. It's the perfect kind of atmosphere for this game. Are we safe? Are we in danger? Are we doing the right thing by eliminating these ghosts, some of which look cute and innocent? Who are we to come into this world and start purifying it? The characters are creepy looking, sure, but they're also clearly scared for their lives and in misery. Everyone's depressed, and it's up to you to hopefully stop that with your purification. It's a really fascinating and engaging experience. I really recommend you check this game out.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up.
Okay, now here's a game that's a lot more lighthearted. Citizens of Earth. If you're into the more wacky aspects of Undertale, then I think this game is right up your alley.
Imagine the headlines. VP steals car. Thanks, but no thanks.
We take control of the Vice President of the world! I don't think that's how that works. Who still lives at home with his mother.
It's tough being Vice President of the world.
You've been in office 1 day.
His mom tells him he needs to go out and gain the trust and love of the citizens. By beating them up, apparently. Immediately upon leaving your home, you're encountered with a protester. So, what does our noble Vice President of Earth do? Tells his mom and little brother to fight for him.
Honey, you have to learn to fight your own battles one day.
How noble. The battles themselves are really interesting. When it's the mother's turn, she doesn't actually have any forceful attacks. She can nag, encourage, or use motherly advice. It's similar to Undertale's Act and Mercy options. The brother, however, is all about that violence. Come here, you! The main objective of the game is to go around and speak to the citizens. They'll all have issues and problems they'd like you to solve. Some of which are, super important.
So there aren't any cats, just kitties. But 5 of mine are missing. We gotta find them first.
And it's your job to act immediately to fix those issues. So, you know, the exact opposite of how government really works. Take that, government!
Government totally sucks.
Doing these favors, no matter how seemingly small, do help the citizens gain trust and support in you. It's a very, very lighthearted game. If you're looking for an RPG that doesn't take itself seriously, has over-the-top characters that are somehow likable, I'd say give this game a whirl.
Bro, what an absolute oaf.
Lisa the Painful. That's a nice name. So what do we have here? The game starts off with a bunch of kids bullying this one kid by beating him up and calling him names. Great! He's left beat up, takes a very long walk home, where he then sees his drunk father who scolds him for coming home all beat up. He throws a bottle at his son, tells him he's not buying him a new shirt, and tells him to go to his room where he proceeds to cry. Alright, we having fun yet? Yeah, video games! Remember Sans? Anyway, that was all just a flashback or something. And we cut to the present time, which turns out to be a post-apocalyptic world, where all the women are dead except one special girl. Probably Lisa, I don't know, I didn't get too far honestly, I got too sad. So the game is an RPG with a pixel art style, so whatever, Undertale I guess, MatPat said so. Despite the game starting off pretty heavy, the game's overall tone, I'd say goes for dark humor. It's okay, little buddy. Oh my god! It's pretty serious for the most part, but then there's stuff like this. You walk past a seemingly dead body in a cave and he says, "Hey, I'm not dead yet, you Pringle! Come here so I can kick your butt!" People are dying left and right, and I think I'm supposed to feel sad, but then this guy comes up riding a cute deer with a mohawk and handlebar mustache, and what? I'm not supposed to laugh at that? All of the characters are so over the top and ridiculous in this post-apocalyptic world of death. This person is also hideous. No offense, I know I'm not the best looking guy out there, but look at you! Hey, I know you just saw your family get slaughtered in front of you, but I'll join you, I guess, considering I'm a very strong warrior. Yeah, thanks. The main charm of this game, if you want to call it that, comes from the weird and dim-witted characters existing in this depressing world. But like I said earlier, I only played a little bit of this game. This is apparently a trilogy of games, so yeah, I'm sure it's great. Here's a really, really awesome game called Heartbound. The game starts off with a boy and his dog. This boy's name is Lore, and he'll be our main character. He suffers from depression, anxiety, and fear, being very disinterested and uninvolved in most activities that may require effort. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have his talking dog, Baron, who's very upbeat and positive, always giving Lore uplifting advice and words of wisdom that would lift the spirits of any down-in-the-dumps owner. It's a really beautiful friendship, and the contrasting personalities work perfectly. Dogs are always so energetic and happy. I feel like if they could talk, this is what they'd be like. I also like how the main character wears an oversized hoodie. Most shy and introverted people tend to wear hoodies that are too big for them. It gives them a sense of security, plus it's super comfy. One night before going to sleep, Baron comes on screen and says, "Hey buddy, I know things can get tough sometimes. Just don't forget to have fun, even if it all looks grim. Follow your heart, and don't give up on anything or anyone. I will always be with you, right by your side. We got this." Upon waking up, Lore realizes that his house has been broken into, and Baron is nowhere to be found. He wanders the house until eventually coming into the forest, where he sees this monster. He gets scared and begins to cry, saying this is all just a dream, and that Baron is fine. This is where our first fight takes place. The battle system is really unique and fun. Just like Undertale, it's essentially a series of minigames that relies on your reflexes. I really love this. It keeps the gameplay fresh every time, and is insanely entertaining, accompanied with the animations. After defeating the creature, you're transported to this alternate dimension where you guessed it, you gotta save your dog. This game is absolutely amazing and is filled to the brim with charm. The atmosphere is on point for a game like this, especially for a main character who's constantly in fear, and the music is just absolutely beautiful. It's an emotional roller coaster that you and the character go on. You eventually come across your dead dog, but oops, magic! Is he dead? Is he under a spell? Well, you gotta find out. It's a really engaging game. Every action you do, big or small, has a consequence. Heartbound is a really awesome game, and I recommend you check it out on Steam. It's reasonably priced and well worth your time. And those were just some of the games that, if you enjoy Undertale, you'll love as well. Again, the word ripoff is very, very loosely used here. These games all have an identity of their own. I mean, hey, if you want to be really specific, Undertale is just a mother ripoff. The king of children getting into wacky adventures and being depressed. Thanks for watching!